Can you hear me now?
Gabriel Joseph. So 4-0, Christian Alshon to serve. That wind is really gusting up a little bit, so you've got Gabriel striking a good return, but you're also wondering how much wind is going to affect that. It's a couple inches deep on there.
Oh, and a net cord over.
And that works out. I mean, he's wanted anything right now, which is fine. It's these times can be tricky. You're down right out the gate, and you're taking a timeout at 3-0. So, you know, Gabriel just kind of needs a little bit here and there. So net cord, we're going to welcome that sometimes. So
there's
he's on
his
the board.
first point on the board.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, tricky one. The wind definitely playing a factor here.
You could see the ball kind of move when Alshon was returning, and then just an error from Joseph. So we're at 5-1.
Unbelievable.
There you go. That's clean. That's good movement out front. Solid striking of the ball. I mean, Christian is coming around. You're seeing him a lot more. He just got drafted last night before. What team did he get on?
He did. He was drafted an MLP to the. I have to look it up. Texas Rangers.
Texas Rangers. There we go.
So he resides in Florida and is actually originally from Florida.
That doesn't happen often.
It does not.
Yeah, side out. It's 1-5.
Gabriel Joseph being from California, also born in California.
Yeah.
They've all stayed put. Just a little bit long there. Back to side out.
Well, I think that's a frustrating way. You're trying to start the match, trying to get in a rhythm. And we were a little delayed on the start. It's tricky, but in singles, it does go fast. So we've got to kind of dial it in, keep swinging, and see what happens. I mean, both of those balls, I mean, that's kind of what you have to do. Christian Alshon's a great mover. He's got a lot of power behind the ball. Joseph has got a really, I mean, that was baseline. Both of those shots right on that line, nice and deep, putting pressure on him.
A little short on that one, and we're back at side out.
I mean, he's just trying to try different things. You know, try to hit him short, try to get a move, and he's going to keep going until something sticks. I think it's a tough one. It's, you know, Joseph's immediate was thinking that ball was wide, and in there, I think that's a good opportunity to just ask the referee, did you see it?
Right. And that one's going to be out.
There we go. That one's for sure. So it's 1-6, and you know, Joseph just kind of has to keep fighting to see what's going to take to keep getting the ball in. There we go. So that's 2-6, and that's what he needs. He just kind of needs to keep striking the ball. He's a great ball striker. He comes from other racket sports before pickleball, and he has been playing for quite a few years on the tour, off and on. And you know,
we're playing officially 4 years.
4 years.
So he's done a lot in a short amount of time.
He has. So there we go. So that's 3-6. So he's
back in
getting somewhere. It does look like our.
Just a little short on that one. Sarah, how much do you think wind plays a factor in strategy? What do you think is the big change players have to make with a windy day?
I mean, the big thing is that side. I mean, first of all, in singles, the side is going to be so important with that, and that he's Christian's trying to sell that shot a little bit that he made around the post, but Joseph is sticking with his call that it is out.
Oh,
there he is. He's trying a different tactic, and because it is tricky with that wind moving so much. You've got to dial in your shots a little bit. You've kind of create some margin when you're doing that, and it's tricky when you have someone with a lot of pressure. You want to really try to do more with the ball.
And we're back with side out. Gabriel Joseph, we're now at 3-6.
All right, that's what Joseph needs.
What a point.
You know, he's got great hands, and that's something that we look at.
The official ball of the PPA Tour.
So we'll have to just make sure we keep you updated until that gets fixed.
Okay, time in 4-6. Here we go.
There we go. You can see Joseph coming back in. He's swinging through the ball a little bit more, which I think is what he needs to do. See there, he went with a little bit of a shorter return, a little safer. You know, he's not going to miss that shot. It's got the percentages are up a little bit, and it's 4-6. Here we go, and we've got the scoreboard back up, so we're officially up and going.
So here we go. Alshon, 6-4.
Look at that, the way, that's what Joseph has to do. He's got to be moving through that shot. He's got to commit to those returns, and you can see just how penetrating that ball can be. It's going to put a lot of pressure on Alshon, and now he gets the serve back. That right there, that's
great shot.
That's what he's got to do. You can see he's like energy is different. When
Absolutely.
He's set back from that timeout. He's striking that ball. He's putting a lot more confidence behind those shots. And now it's at 5-6.
Christian Alshon making it again, being right where the ball is every time. He's got great wingspan there. He can reach a lot.
You know, it's which is so helpful in this game. It's especially in singles, a lot of court coverage. So we're at 6-5.
And the call is out.
Deep return, and that you did feel a little wind gust on that last one too. You can kind of see it in the trees. So the wind is behind Joseph right now.
There we go.
Yeah, and that's clean. I think you can see with Joseph, he's slowing down a little. He's not rushing as quite as much. He's getting his feet underneath him. He's got his paddle in front, and that's making him a lot more consistent. And there you go. You hear the comment from him. The ball is sailing. Yes, it's affecting his returns, making him go a little bit too deep, and so it's all about, you know, how is he going to adjust with this? Like, we all have to deal with it at some point. And so
there we go. Alshon coming in strong on that one.
We're 8-5 for Alshon. He's got that energy a little bit. He's getting a little more focused. You know, Alshon started off a pretty heavy lead, and Joseph is a smart move because
during practice, there's not, you know, some states are more windy than others and have different weather, so this might be a little more challenging depending on where they're coming from and where they typically are practicing also.
Right, we're at 9-5, starting out. I mean, that's fantastic. It's those hands. Alshon came out with that almost more confident, which he should. He's at a good run. He has to maintain that confidence, and now he's got a game point at 10-5.
There we go. There we go.
You notice that both of them are, every time coming forward off their returns, they're putting a lot of pressure on their, which is what they need to do. Is they've got to own that court and space, and so that serve is extremely important, putting a little pressure on that.
And the call is out.
And you can see that that serve was like mid-court. That's a short serve, and I get that it's hard for Joseph to risk a lot right now with that wind behind him on that serve, but something mid-court is allowing Alshon to come in very, very quickly and make a very strong return. So Alshon's got another game point at 10-5. And that right there.
Challenged, and the call is out.
He's challenging it, and it's worth it. I would have liked to have seen him challenge earlier on.
When the world sleeps, greatness rises. And while others dream of the next level, we chase it. Challenging every limit, turning obstacles into stepping stones. Because the next level isn't just handed to you. It's earned. Go next level with 6-0 Pickleball.
And I think it's interesting to see how they both manage the wind adjustments from their sides.
Gabriel Joseph starting us off here.
And you could see the frustration from Joseph. He's going for the right shots. He's just missing them a little bit, and that's always difficult when you know you've got the right thing, and we've got a ball we're trying to find behind us.
Okay, so our score is still 0-0. Alshon to serve.
And I like that kind of serve. It was a lot of times people always think the serve's got to be super deep and everything, but the difference of that shorter serve that Alshon hit versus the one that Joseph hit is that ball was short. Serve was short, but it was low. So that does make it tricky for someone to come in behind it and be aggressive with that return. So we're at 2-0 to start off with.
And there we have it. Switching back over with a side out to Gabriel Joseph. Great hands on that.
Again, you can see the frustration. I think half the battle in some of these things is how do you deal with those emotions when things are not working. Confidence is extremely important. And you can see that Joseph is struggling with that right now. So that's giving
great
Alshon
time for a timeout.
And is going for a timeout, which I like. He's using his timeouts, which we could see the wind is actually coming into our faces right now, which is a little bit sideways.
So we're at 3-0. Alshon serving.
Yeah, it's great court coverage from Alshon. And you can kind of see that it's sometimes you're getting a few more mishits just because of the wind, the bounce of the ball. I mean, that's well within. I think Alshon absolutely could have had that ball, and it dipped right back in with over a foot inside the court, and which is what he needed. He needs to keep striking the ball like that, commit to those shots. And
Joseph on the board and maybe catching some momentum here. It's a great shot right outside of his reach.
And that's kind of that same thing. He's got fantastic hands and good ball striking. We're trying to find where this ball is again.
Wind definitely impacting everything, blowing this ball well off the court to get it back on.
We're just ending up as ball people as well.
We're multi-skilled that way, Sarah.
Trying to collect them everywhere.
Okay, so we're now at a closer game at 2-3.
It's a 3-3, and a couple opportunities on that point. It's kind of crazy, and you could see that Joseph kind of went to go cover the around the post, and Alshon still went back cross court, which is something that we are starting to kind of utilize more. Just because there's an around the post option doesn't mean that's always the best solution.
So we're side out. Alshon coming in. We're now at a tied game, 3-3.
I love to see how Alshon moves around that forehand, like around the backhand to strike that forehand. He's done that a couple times in a row, and he's got phenomenal passing shots off that side.
3-3. Sorry, we go. 4-3.
Gonna reserve there because of the let. We're 4-3 still.
That was just it's a solid serve, but it looked like just Joseph kind of lost his footing a little bit, and he's obviously frustrated. And if he wants to turn this match around, we want to make sure we handle those emotions. And that's a confident shot, striking the ball off from Alshon, because he's moving around that backhand, taking that forehand. It's so easy for you to go down line or cross court, and it's a much harder shot to read. You can see the same thing. It's actually the bounce of the ball that just happened on that side again, which has got to be very, very frustrating.
Joseph's super frustrated here, trying to gather his thoughts, I think, before this next point. And we're
We're
now
at 7-3 for Alshon. And that's
just an
8-3.
inconvenient time for that.
So he's taking a timeout again, which I think is...
From the world's most iconic tennis arenas to the glint of an Olympic gold medal, a new court beckons, a new challenge arises. Jack Sock has conquered tennis. Now, pickleball's next. Mastery, precision, passion, that's what champions are made of. And when it comes to pickleball, there's only one company they turn to. Jack Sock's legacy continues with the #1 brand in pickleball. Selkirk Sport. We are pickleball.
So we're back in at 8-3. There we go. It's a good adjustment, so he's got the ball back. And that same thing, that was the side of the serve that he had a couple of bad bounces on that, and I think that was an important point for Joseph to win.
There we go. That's what he needed right there. A little momentum,
Yep.
a little bit of confidence. So we're now at a 4-8 game.
4-8.
Great ball there by Joseph.
So I think we're at 5-8. And 4 of those points, he's won passing off of that side to Alshon going to that forehand space. And now we're at 5-8.
Wow.
And it's great
Alshon
movement,
is a
great
wall.
coverage. What I liked about that from Alshon is how controlled he was at the end of that point. He just, like I said, Joseph went for that passing shot to get on that forehand side, and Alshon's just holding his position much better. And now he's at 8-5. And Joseph, was almost there, but was also different about that. Is Alshon kind of changed the pace a tiny, tiny bit off that, so that kind of mistimed Joseph when he went to go cover that forehand.
And we're at a side out. Here we go. With Joseph back up, we are at 5-9. As you can see, the wind is now blown a towel on, so we're going to fix that real quick. The wind is coming in gusts, so it's very challenging. It's hard to tell from home, but these are challenging winds here.
And it almost,
Just
the
out
wind
there.
again, it's a right shot, he had a good point, but the wind changed directions a little bit on us. But that's the second time we've had both of them at the net, playing a little cat and mouse game, which probably is what Joseph needs to get involved in a little bit more.
So here we are, 9-5, Alshon.
kind of that same. It's both of them are really moving smoothly into that forehand space, which I love seeing. A lot of directionality with that shot.
Game point, 10-5.
Match point at 10-5. And that's a very frustrating way because you saw that ball. It looked like it was going to go over, and the wind almost took it back. And so that's